Hello and welcome back to Crypto Novus, where newbies become masters. My name is Chris Brown and I'm the host of the channel. Last week, the government sent out a bunch of stimulus checks in the amount of $1,400 to a lot of Americans. One of the members within the Crypto Novus community asked me to update a presentation that I did earlier regarding the $600 stimulus check. And so I decided not to necessarily update that one, but actually create a whole different second challenge. And we'll get into the reasons as to why. So let's go ahead and jump into it. But first, I want to talk about Swan. For those of you who are looking for a way to invest into Bitcoin as inexpensively as possible, I would highly suggest that you take a look at Swan. I am an affiliate marketer for Swan. I'm part of the Swan Force, just to give full disclosure. But I really do believe that what they have to offer in terms of plans are really beneficial. So go ahead and take a look at that. As always, we're going to do this video is not and should not be perceived as crypto investment advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. And of course, always do your own research, and we all know why, because you want to make the best choice for your family as you're doing investing into the crypto market, and you need to understand all the risks associated. Okay, so the crypto market has changed. I mean, 2021 is certainly turning out to be an exciting year. Of course, there's more retail users because there's better on-ramps. There's improved custody solutions, wallets, etc. There's new Bitcoin-only companies such as Swan. But the bigger reason is because of the institutional and corporate investors and what they have actually done to price action with Bitcoin, which has trickled down into the altcoins. So we're going to take a look at two strategies: a conservative approach, which is Bitcoin only, and then we're going to take a look at a more moderate approach, which includes Bitcoin as well as altcoins up to the top 100. We're going to stay within that bracket. The last challenge I did stayed with only the top 10. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin only. Why Bitcoin only? Because it's digital gold, it's store of value. Now this is really important because this talks about the projection of where Bitcoin could go in 2021. And when you go through and you read this, you're going to see that we've already surpassed a lot of these projections, which tells you a little something about the value of investing into Bitcoin. And this will kind of explain the next chart we're going to take a look at. So this was a graph that was put together in regards to price action after a halving. And make a long story short, the far extensions of the blue lines represent the price range. The solid blue line represents where in fact the average price will be. And of course, we got two arrows showing where we're sitting in March, which is above 50,000, which corresponds to about 300 days after the halving. And lo and behold, there still is an opportunity for around the 18th of April, mid-April, for Bitcoin to hit 100,000. Now it may go below because there's a big range there. So it's a possibility, but it's amazing what may happen. The other thing that's amazing, if you take a look at the top prices of 387 and 286, it's possible that could happen as well. So it's things that we need to look for and be receptive to as the market continues to mature. So this is a quick slide that basically says, back in 2020, when people had an opportunity about the same time of the year to invest stimulus checks, a lot of people took advantage of that, hence why I'm doing this. And if they would have, for those that did invest back in 2020, they're $1,200. Today, that $1,200 would be sitting around a little over $10,000. And we can see here that back in 2020, the price of Bitcoin jumped from $6,800 to $10,000. So one of the things that we may need to take a look at and see is Bitcoin right now is hovering around 58,000. It hit about 60, almost 62, and recoiled back. Bitcoin this coming week or between now and April, it may, exceed $60,000, $65,000, maybe even into the $75,000. I showed a graph where it said sometime in April it could hit as high as 100,000. For sure in Q2, I think the target price that most people are discussing is 75,000. The range for Bitcoin anywhere from 30 to 280,000. I think that 30,000 is way low. I should have probably raised that a little bit. That gives us an average price of 159,000. Just sticking with that, based on where Bitcoin is at right now, that would be a 2.7x. So if you took your $1,400, multiplied by 2.7, you could easily, obviously you easily doubled your money, almost tripled it in the amount of $38.37. So let's take a look at the second option, investing in only the top 100. So the value of that is the diversification. This was the chart that I did in the old challenge, and the blue arrows indicate the assets that we talked about investing in that challenge. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the new, and you'll notice that the change, it's a couple of changes. One, I've removed XRP, and the reason why is with XRP still being in this lawsuit scenario with the SEC, until that gets resolved, prices in XRP is not going to probably really grow very much. So why invest? If you're new to investing, why invest in there? There's a little bit more risk involved than there was before. With all that being said, it's still at 52 cents. But what has happened is Cardano has moved up in the ranking, and Cardano is now number 5. It used to be number 9. Bitcoin and Ethereum still hold their positions at 1 and 2, and Chainlink still holds its position at number 10. Chainlink has bounced out of the top 10 a little bit, I think down to 11, maybe 12 at the most, but it's still holding strong in the top 10. Okay, so the coins that I'm going to suggest is, again, Ethereum. Ethereum basically is right now at around $1,800. In other presentations, I have in fact gone through all of these coins and given price predictions. So that's part of the reason why I chose them. So I'm going off the information that I previously used before. So with Ethereum, its average price could be 16,000 this year, which could put it at almost a 9x growth from where it is right now. On the high side, if it does in fact hit the 27.6, it could go as high as 15.3, and then you can see the range there at a low of 47.88. On the Cardano side, Cardano right now is sitting at $1.21. I think it could go easily to about $14, which is about 11.6x growth, but its range of growth is anywhere from 3.7 to 19.4. Chainlink, the smart contract tool, its price is at $29.80 right now. It has actually done better than that this year, with the average of anywhere from 36, which was its high this year so far, to some people think it'll even surpass 100, but I'm using 100. Gives me an average price for the year at 68, so that could be a 2.3x growth. But it could see another, I would say, potentially 3.5x growth for the year. Stellar is a strong one. It's remittance. It was a good competitor, if you will, with Ethereum, but its focus is different. It's not Ethereum, XRP. Where XRP's focus is working with the central banks and working with them in their remittances, Stellar is really focused on the unbanked, and there's about 1.7 billion people that are unbanked, and that's the target customer base that they're looking at. It's pretty big, pretty strong. So right now, Stellar Lumens is hovering at 40 cents. I think it could actually hit about over $5, almost $6. I put $5.75 there for 14.4x growth. But on a very, very high side, it wouldn't shock me if it went as high as even a little around $8, which would put it at 21.9x. Algorand, a strong project, blockchain platform. It has seen tremendous growth this year already. It's sitting at $1.20. Again, I took a look at the price range for them from $1.66 to $4.69. So obviously it's almost at $1.66 now. I think the average might be sitting at around $3, a little over $3. I put $3.17. So that's a growth of 2.6x. And then Engine. It's seen another phenomenal amount of growth this year. I mean, almost parabolic in nature. It's sitting at $2.21. Average price for this year, I think, will be just under $5, or like $4.97 is what I put. So that growth there is 2.2x. So if you take a look at all of these and, take a look at the chart here, this is how I've distributed them. I allocated $250 each to Bitcoin and Ethereum because I always think that's a good baseline. So that's about 34% of the 1,400. Then I took the additional $600 and I evenly distributed between ADA, Link, and XLM. And then lastly, I took a look and distributed the last remaining $300 with Algo and with Engine. So you can kind of see what the growth expansions would be for each one of these as we go down and take a look at the average, what they could target range that they could grow this year. As you go through, obviously the big players will be Ethereum, ADA, and XLM. All three of those would be probably over a couple grand a piece, where the remaining ones will still probably be under 1,000 in the few $100 ranges, but it's still, you're still looking at doubling your money at the very, very least. So the grand total, if you took $1,400 of your money right now and took that stimulus check, you could potentially see a little over $9,000 of growth between now and the end of the year. So what I'm going to do is, like with the challenge number 1, I'm in fact going to challenge you again on this one. Will you accept this challenge? On challenge number 1, I'm going to be doing a quarterly update. So about the end of this month, I'm going to take a look at what was allocated in those coins and see where they actually sit today and see how that particular portfolio is performing. And I will do the same with this one. So, we're almost at the end of Q1 right now. So at the end of Q2, Q3, and Q4, I will take a look at this challenge and see how this performed for the year of 2021. So that's the video for today. It's real simple and straightforward. If you liked any part of that, please hit the like button. And if you're not a part of the Crypto Novas community right now, join. We'd love to have you. Again, my name is Chris Brown. I'm the host of Crypto Novas, where newbies become masters.